Marillion's brand new album, An Hour Before It's Dark, is a very, very special album indeed. Come back and I'll tell you why. It occurred to me after quite a few listens that the title of the album, An Hour Before It's Dark, has many different connotations. The title could refer to as the last hour the child is permitted to play outside, the fight against time and respect of climate change, or the closing minutes of a person's life, which I will leave up to you to decide. Marillion's last album, 2016, Fear, or Fuck Everyone and Run, was a very dark, essential dissection of modern Britishness, and it held a mirror up to a society you didn't particularly like what it saw. This follow-up is equally timely. Work on An Hour Before It's Dark began in early 2020, just as COVID-19 started to take hold and continued as uncertainty, anxiety, and death rates began to soar in the world outside the studio walls. It was inevitable that the global events were going to impact the music Marillion were making, and indeed it has. The spectre of the pandemic inevitably hovers over its 6 tracks, but emotions that flow through their album aren't so much fear or anger, but compassion and hope. Opening track and the first single, Be Hard on Yourself, is a dramatic 9-minute exhortation to wake up the destructiveness of blind consumerism before it's too late, yet it swerves a finger wagging in flavor of an emotional plea for action. When the band do indeed confront the pandemic head-on, as with the Sparkling Murder Machines, which is probably my favorite song on the album, it views humans as irrelevant virus-carrying killers, and there's an urgency to the music which can also be found in the previous album, Fear. This song contains some of Hogarth's greatest lyrics, such as I put my arms around her, or I put my arms around them, or I put my arms around him, ending it that I have killed them with love. A very powerful sentiment indeed. But not everything is tied in directly with events of the past 2 years. The Crow and the Nightingale is singer Stephen Hogarth's lyrically vivid tribute to Leonard Cohen, and Sierra Leone is a tale of dignity and hope amid the poverty of the West African country. The joy and the enchanting sound of playing children underpins the deceptively gentle piano opening to Reprogram the Gene. That spell is suddenly broken as the whole band crashes in on an avalanche of drums and thunderous bass. Each howls with increasing frenzy in a series of I wants, including the demand, I want to waste your time, I want to be Dr. Frankenstein. The song abruptly transitions into a much more restrained section, and rather cleverly I might add too. Words that were spat out venomously on the opening section are repeated in a much more beseeching, almost whispered and more persuasive manner. Sometimes it's not what you sing, it's how you sing it. Reprogram the Gene is clearly heavily influenced by COVID's effect on society. Yes, it does mention the C word, but Marillion look hopefully into the future and point to a way forward, with the hint that perhaps mankind is the virus for which an environmental cure is required, thus trying together the greatest concerns of the last 2 years in one song. The emotionally charged and inspiring finale, Care, is based on a real-life event in which a friend of Hogarth was diagnosed with tumors in his spine and sent H a series of selfies recording his experience receiving harrowing doses of chemotherapy. This brought them closer together as friends, but inevitably it got H thinking about his own mortality. No one knows how much time we have left. Care reaches a glorious and very moving ending in the final Angels on Earth section. Partly inspired by a mural of an emotional nurse painted in Manchester by Peter Barber, which was based on a photo taken by nurse Joanna Churchill of her exhausted colleague Melanie Sr. In many ways, An Hour Before It's Dark is a natural outcome of a band as active as Marillion. Its overall mood is uncharacteristically elegant, even for a band who wrote an entire album about a young woman contemplating suicide, and its sole cheerful ditty repeatedly mentions the act of killing, which of course I'm referring to the Brave album. The circumstances under which An Hour Before It's Dark came to life make it damn near impossible for the band to refrain from mentioning the pandemic. My advice is just ignore it. An Hour Before It's Dark is too goddamn good of an album for you not to suspend your disbelief while enjoying it. And it's moments like the end of Care that will leave you like there's a sunset just over the pitch black horizon. An Hour Before It's Dark can truly be seen as one of Marillion's most accomplished albums. It is an outstanding piece of music that the band should be incredibly proud of. And even though we're only in May, it will take something amazing to knock it off the top of my album of the year list. And as a final rating, I'm going to give this album a 95%. See you next time, guys. Take care. Alright, guys, thank you for listening to my thoughts on Marillion's new album, An Hour Before It's Dark. And as usual, I will show you the physical media. There's the back there. Gatefold. Here's the first inner. Second there with lyrics. I'll pull out one of the vinyls just to show you the labels because they're both the same. And that's what they look like. And of course, here's the other inner with more lyrics and credits. And there's the other side of it. Well, I hope you enjoyed as much album as I have. It's definitely going to be top tier at the end of the year. Probably, possibly #1. But we'll see if Bunny can knock it off. Anyways, take care of each other as usual, and we'll see each other in the next video. Good night.